It is for this reason that I've chosen as my theme, the love of God. If you truly taste the love of God at this time, then your blessings will not be limited to a few brief hours of carnal pleasure, but they will last on into the new year that lies ahead and throughout the rest of your life. Yes, and beyond that, through an endless eternity. On the other hand, if you go through life without truly knowing God and His love, then it will make no difference how much pleasure or success you may gain in other ways. Ultimately, you will have lived in vain.
If we haven't experienced unconditional love in our earthly relationships, a healthy connection to God can feel very unattainable. But it is possible. No matter who you are or what you've been through, you can know the intimacy of God the Father, motivated by genuine love for one another. And oftentimes we don't find that. But listen, God's goal for every single believer is this intimate relationship. For example, in Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 32, he says, He is intimate with the upright. Now watch this. That doesn't mean that God plays favorites. It means that He develops this intimate relationship with those who are willing to walk righteously before Him. Remember that God is holy, and He's always the one who's taking the initiative to build this relationship. God's purpose is twofold. First of all, He wants to reveal Himself to us. And secondly, He wants to accomplish His work through us.
And maybe you need to hear that God's love for you is never based on your performance. Before He ever did anything, it's kind of like He got the trophy before He even showed up for practice. It's kind of like God does not validate how people validate, because people will validate you based on what you do for them. People will validate you based on the value that your actions carry that will contribute directly to their well-being. But God does not validate based on performance. He validates based on relationship. He did not validate what Jesus would do. He validated who He was. And just in case you haven't heard it in a while, and you feel kind of dirty and kind of ashamed of yourself, and kind of like you don't belong in the presence of God, and kind of like you're not one of those good church people, I want you to know you're still His child. You're still made in His image. You're still bought with His blood. Every drop He spilled was on purpose. And one of those drops had your name on it. And if the blood was enough for me, it was enough for you. And you don't have to stand here ashamed and look forward to one day when God will never love you any more than He loves you right now.